So, there is one uncomfortable truth that every high achieving woman needs to hear, at least in my opinion, and it's about 12 inches long. So, let's talk about it. No, it's not that. Have you ever noticed how you can be living life, working, handling family, doing the day to day stuff, and still feel like something is missing, even though you can't quite name it? It's not overwhelmed, nothing's falling apart. It's more like a detached feeling that doesn't lend itself to being explained easily. I'll put it like that. Because most high achieving women don't break down first. What happens is we start to disconnect because your body knows it even before your mind catches up. And here's what's really happening, hence the title of the video. What's really happening in a way that nobody ever explains to us is that there are roughly approximately 12 to 18 inches between your mind, your heart, and your brain. And even though that distance is physically small, it's often the longest journey that you'll ever make. It's literally the space between knowing something is true, right? Here, and actually feeling it here. And then when you feel it here, what really should happen is that you leave it. But that's not what many of us are doing. Our minds were trained by a conditioning that runs on survival patterns, performance, responsibility, proving, protecting, anticipating, all those different things. So the mind, the brain, the heart are typically misaligned. And that's what we see when we're feeling unsafe, to allow ourselves to show our emotions, feel our emotions, to receive, and all those types of things. So we're running on survival patterns, and those survival patterns are like performing, being responsible, proving, doing all those different things I mentioned, protecting, anticipating so that you can get in there to manage and mitigate things. And so it sends a signal that if you keep moving, even when you're tired, even when things are stressing you out, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's the survival pattern. Your heart, though, sends a different signal. The signal from the heart is a signal that is in alignment with your soul. It's the deeper truth. It's the truth, and your heart has its own electrical field, thousands of times that is stronger than the brain or the mind. And I'm not going to get too into the science of it, but it's important for me to distinguish that. So it's like the brain, the mind have their own thing going on. The heart, which is the programming, which is the survival, which is the striving, the doing, the performing, whereas the heart has its signal that is more aligned with who you are on the inside, your desires, your soul. And so that disconnect, that dissonance is when they both of them are out of sync. And when that field is out of sync with your mind stress signals, your whole system feels whack and your whole system's off, and that's why logically, when we say we're going after our goals, when we're going after all these external markers of success, we can still feel emotionally empty, emotionally disconnected, emotionally void. There's a way to just keep your head in the game that is absent of your heart and your feelings and your emotions, because your mind is in survival mode, but your heart, your precious heart, is in truth mode, and they're not speaking the same language. So this continues, and the more the mind overrides the heart, the more disconnected and detached you feel inside your own life. And that's why it feels a lot of the time that you're looking inside into your own life. You're accomplishing all these things, you have all these successes, but you don't feel it, you're not feeling it. It's how we're able to go from one thing to another, get the degree, buy the fancy house, and just move on to the next and to the next, because there's a detachment, there's a disconnect between the things that you're doing logically, the success you're going after, and the feeling that the successes you hope will bring but are not bringing, because they are not in alignment. What you're doing is not really what your heart desires. It's the things that you've been programmed to do. And that's why fixing working harder would not fix anything. Striving harder, achieving harder, going after more things, adding more accolades, adding more of those external things will not bridge that gap or fix that disconnect. It actually draws you further away from what's in here. You are essentially trying to solve a problem that belongs to the heart with a mind strategy. So fixing a heart problem with the strategy from the mind and the mind only. So I want to share with you 3 ways that you can check to see if you're living in that 12-inch split where the disconnect is between here and here. The first thing that you can do to check is that your body, do a scan of your body. Is it louder than your schedule? And what do I mean by that? I mean, are you feeling tired more often than not, even if you've had a good night's rest? I won't say good, right? Even if you had hours of rest, do you feel heavy? Is there just like this, I'll say, cloud over you that's just sort of weighing down? Are you easily irritated? Things that maybe in the past you just brush off, but there's like a visceral reaction, you're irritated. Do you feel disconnected or numb when you get a win or when you accomplish something? Is it just like on to the next? If that's how your body's feeling, if those are the signs and the symptoms that you're feeling, that's what's happening. Number 2 way to check for the 12-inch split is that your spirit feels typically overruled by responsibilities. And this could look like you just going ahead to fulfill righteous obligations despite the fact that you don't want to do it. Where intuitively you want to say no, but you say yes because you want to be seen as the person who keeps their word at any cost. Going somewhere when you do not want to go, when you're tired, when you just really don't want to be in that company, but you still go. So these are signs that your spirit is being overruled by that sense of being responsible and dependable and not wanting to disappoint the people. And the third way to check for that 12-inch split is when you do the things right, the things that you're supposed to do, home intact, 2.0 kids, marriage, all the different things, job, multi six figure career or successful business, perfect picture life, but in here, empty, feeling off, wondering what's going on, not really enjoying the successes. That's a sign. So if you're able to do these 3 checks and they're, these things are happening, then the what I have to say to you is that your heart and your brain are firing in opposite directions, and that just as it sounds, it's not a good thing. And you don't want to keep yourself in this loop where you're widening the gap between that, because you basically wake up one day and be like, what the heck, why is my life like this? And that's kind of where some of the ladies that I work with are, where they've done these things and they're like in midlife, kids are grown out of the house, or sadly somebody passes away, and then you begin to think about your own life, where you are, and you're wondering like, okay, outside of all these things, where are the things that light me up? Where are they? And what are they even? Like, there has to be more than this. So this is really what's underneath running all that. And that's why some of us are where we are. The heart, the brain are firing in opposite directions, and you're the victim of that. Your body pays the cost essentially. And that cost ranges from stress, belly fat, stubborn belly fat, sicknesses, depression, all those different things. And it's usually the moment where we want to pause and just really honor what is going on, give your nervous system permission to just step out and say, you know what, it's enough. It's time to bridge that gap. It's time for me to check in with myself. It's time for me to really find out what the desire of my soul is. You know, performance mode can only get you up to a point, and at that point, you want to say, I don't want to do this anymore. So the first step to bringing those 12 inches back together is for you to honor your truth, honor what's in your heart. What do I really want to do? Go back to where you were young, or maybe not young, but when you went before the time where you felt you just had to do, the times where, or the time where, go back to the time where you felt that you had to earn worthiness and work for love and respect and those things. What were the things that lit you up and excited you? What were the dreams that you had when you were younger, before all the rules and responsibilities came upon you, before the world or your mom or the church or whatever paradigm is you're operating under shaped you or told you what to do? That's the truth. Figure out what that is, and that's how you close that. That's the first way to close that 12-inch gap. It's not the version that just keeps going and says I'm fine and keeps the mask on. Just allow your truth, the truth in your heart to surface up. Because when your heart and your mind come together, when they're in alignment, when they move back to a place of coherence, it's so effortless. You really just end up honoring yourself, doing what you want to do, enjoying life, enjoying what you have. There's an ease that comes about it. You allow yourself to be soft. You receive love. You receive money. You receive affection. You receive, whatever it is that your heart is desiring just comes to you with ease. And you stop having to choose from fear. Stop having to put those protective barriers. Stop trying to be safe. You make choices that align with who you are. The version that people relied on, that felt she had to perform to be worthy, had to earn all these things, is no longer in existence. The real you is surfacing, and she's easy, and just life is light, and looking forward to doing things and just enjoying herself, you know and beyond candles and brunches and all those glam things, the real stuff, alignment is what you're feeling. So if any of this is resonating with you, connecting with you, igniting something in you, I want you to really, really consider, not consider, just sign, get your butt in the Soft Life Shift Masterclass. It's on December 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's myself and other ladies who are in this space where they just want to really give themselves permission to choose themselves first without worrying about what people think about them, about disappointing people, and just honoring who you are at your core. You're tired of living from your mind while your heart is heavy and your heart is waiting for permission to really just be itself. Join me on December 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern. The link to register or save your seat is in the description. And even if you can't make it for whatever reason, if you register, you get the replay. I send it to you. I promise you, your life will not be the same. Okay? I'll see you in the next live.